Welcome back to the show, everyone. The Florida Museum of Photographic Arts will showcase a reflective and intimate exhibition of analog black and white portraiture, and it's called Darkroom Silver Linings. We have Rick Savitt. He's the photographer behind these beautiful images that you're seeing on your screen right now, and he joins us right now with more. Welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here. I would love to talk first about your journey to this moment and how you fell in love with photography.
Basically, when I got out of graduate school and didn't have a job, I took some money out of the bank and started a darkroom. Seemed like a good thing to do. And set it up in the bathroom. I didn't like the way color was coming out, and had read a book about the print, like from the Time Life series, and kind of was a science experiment. So I set up a darkroom in the bathroom, and the first picture I took was of my daughter. You know, seeing that coming up in the developer, and it hooked me. And I liked the black and white because it cuts to the emotion. So that's how I got started. And then it was just, basically it was a hobby, hacking around with it, going in to see if I could get something. I never took it, you know, thought I was going to do this or that with it or become a photojournalist. It was just a hobby.
Wow, okay. Yeah. So then you did become a photojournalist. You've had quite the career. Can you walk us through?
Well, I was a reporter, but so I got out of graduate school, didn't have a job, started a darkroom, and then went all over the country looking for the first job. But it was a hard time because all the afternoon papers were closing, so there were a lot of more experienced people out there looking for a reporting job. And I got my first job at the Lake and Leisure. And picked up a little through the darkroom there because I was still in love with the photography. And I was stationed in Mulberry. I reported on Mulberry and Fort Meade. So they didn't want to drive all the way from Lakeland for different shots. So I would try and take photos whenever I could, and then go in the darkroom and I'd learn things. And there was a particular photographer, the chief of the photography department there was John Rayx. And sometime when I was at the Leisure, I went back to the Philippines for vacation, and got tear gassed near the American Embassy. There was kind of a riot that was going on, so they wanted to write a story when I got back, and I had some photos from there, and one of them was a particularly good portrait, and John pointed it out to me and everyone else, and things like that kind of pushed me along, and then I learned about lenses and things like that.
So let's talk about this exhibit that is up right now. At the Florida Museum of Photographic Art. We're looking at some of the images right now. Can you talk about some of the subjects that you photograph?
Well, these are ones from the book. These here you're talking about. Those are from the Philippines, but they're just kind of, I'm not great at setting up things, but when I see something, then I can say, like, you know, stay there. And I'm always looking at the light because it's all in natural light. And I'm taking a picture with the idea of getting to make a good print out of it, because the darkroom really is the fun part, because you're alone, got the music going, and I like it. So.
Beautiful. Well, you do have a book. You brought it with you here today. You can buy it at the museum, and then you have an exhibit that's up, right? Can you talk about some of the images that are up at the exhibit right now?
Well, the exhibit photos are local people, and it was kind of the first time when I was pushed to take photographs in this country. It's almost easier in another country because people know that you don't go there to mug them or something, and with the internet everything's changed. So my wife helped me a lot because she would be around with me, especially if I was approaching a woman. So it's the same thing. It was just a matter of luck, and you find someone that opens up. And so really the pictures, they vary as far as the variety of people, but I don't try to do that. Those are the people that just open themselves up to me, because it's got to be a two-way. And then as I've gotten older, you know, you have an idea what's going to work and what's going to not work. And then there's the technical side if you make a mistake, because you got to find out in the darkroom. So you have a talk that's coming up there at the museum. Can you tell me when that's taking place and what you'll be discussing? That's on the 25th of May on a Sunday at 2 p.m. And that's where I want to go into more depth with people who are actually interested maybe in analog photography and different aspects. How do you get close to those people, you know, the people you're shooting, and just the growth. It really, doing something like this, it makes you grow in photography.
For sure.
So if I could help someone. And then there's stories behind all the photos.
I'd imagine.
And I can babble, so.
Can you what?
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then we also want to mention that, part of the proceeds from the book, if you purchase them
Yeah,
there at the museum, will help the museum, right?
Yeah, the book gets quite a bit for the museum gets quite a bit for every book that I sell.
Yeah.
They could also buy them direct, and I get more, but I really want to support the museum.
Yeah.
So if they buy it through the museum, it's the same price as online, but it's $65, and it gets sent to them. But if they buy it at the museum, I could sign it or wherever if they want it, and answer questions and things like that.
And it really is special that we have this museum here right in our backyard in Ybor City that focuses just on photographic
It's a nice museum.
art.
It really is.
Yeah. So we needed to stay around. So support them if you can. Thank you for joining us, for sharing your art and stories with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Of course. So for more on the museum and the exhibit, you can head to fmopa.org. Their website's listed on your screen right now.